Hi, this is Dr. Robert Dillon of uprusticfurniture.com. On this channel, I share the handcrafted log furniture I build, along with various woodworking and home improvement projects related to my business. We are located in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan and serve customers throughout Michigan's Upper Peninsula in northern Wisconsin. In this video, I'll show you how I built a metal roof beneath our existing deck. The primary purpose of the underdeck roof is to keep rainwater out of the area beneath the deck, creating a dry, usable outdoor living space where we can relax and enjoy the beautiful view of the lake. The project area measures approximately 20 feet long by nearly 6 feet wide. After this project is complete, my next project is to enclose the entire area with a screened-in porch. I use primarily DeWalt cordless tools because, for the most part, the batteries are interchangeable between the tools. The tools used for this project are shown here. I'll list these in the video description. Having the proper tools on hand makes the project go much more smoothly and helps ensure accurate measurements and a professional-looking installation. The deck is supported by 4 dark brown 4x6 pressure-treated vertical posts. These posts provide the structural support for the deck above. To accommodate the underdeck drainage system, I needed a solid surface on which to mount the gutter along the lake-facing side of the deck. The existing framing was not wide enough for this purpose, so I fastened pressure-treated 2x8 boards to the outside of the existing horizontal framing. These boards provide a sturdy mounting surface for the gutter while also positioning it correctly to catch all the water draining from the metal roof panels. Another angle showing a full length of the gutter support boards attached to existing deck framing, creating a solid, continuous surface for the gutter installation. A closer view of the newly installed 2x8 pressure-treated boards, which serves as a mounting surface for the gutter. This schematic diagram shows the locations of the 3 runners extending away from the cabin and their corresponding thicknesses. The runners were carefully designed to create a uniform slope of approximately 0.6 inches of drop per foot, ensuring that rainwater flows efficiently toward a gutter system without pooling. The next step is installing 2x8 pressure-treated boards along each side of the deck to support the J-channels that will hold the edges of the metal panels. Once these boards are in place, mason strings are stretched to establish the exact positions of the 3 runners. Here is the opposite end of the deck, showing exact arrangement. In the background, you'll notice an old outhouse that has been on our property for many years. It hasn't been used in decades, and one of these days we'll tear it down. This photo shows the installation of the first set of spacer blocks for the 3rd runner. Since the finished runner needed to be 3 inches thick to achieve the required drainage slope, I first installed 1.5 inch thick blocks, which will later be topped with an additional 1.5 inch runner, totaling 3 inches. Next, I installed runners 1, 2, and 3, each cut to their predetermined thickness to produce the desired slope from the house toward the gutter. Here you can see the completed runner system extending the full length of the deck. Another view of the completed runners, showing a spacing and gradual increase in thickness that creates the continuous slope needed for efficient water drainage. The next step is installing the J-channels, also called J-trim, along the cabin wall. These channels support the inner edges of the metal roof panels and provide a clean, finished appearance while helping guide water onto the panels. A close-up view of the J-channel installed against the cabin along with the first runner. This shows how the panels will be supported as they extend away from the cabin. Here is a completed J-channel running the full length of the cabin, providing continuous support for the upper ends of the metal roof panels. This photo shows a J-channel installed along one side of the deck. Together with the J-channel against the cabin, it secures the edges of the metal panels and helps keep them properly aligned during installation. Here's the opposite side of the deck with the J-channel installed. This is a full view of the completed runner system and J-channels. With the framework now in place, everything is ready for installation of the gutter and the metal roof panels. The next step was installing the gutter system along the lake-facing side of the deck. I designed a gutter with approximately a 2-inch drop over a 20-foot length. While this may seem like a fairly steep slope, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan receives heavy snowfall each winter, along with occasional intense rainstorms. The additional slope helps ensure that snowmelt and heavy runoff drain quickly and efficiently, reducing the chance of standing water or ice buildup in the gutter. Now it's time to install the metal panels. I had purchased the DeWalt metal shear cutter drill attachment, hoping it would make the job easier, but unfortunately it wasn't compatible with my drill. Instead, I relied on a pair of hand metal snips. The first panel was slow going, but with each successive panel I became more proficient. Each snip was about a ½ inch or 24 snips per foot. Over 20 feet, this is approximately 480 snips. Fortunately, I have strong hands, so I just considered it another form of exercise. One panel at a time. Accuracy was much more important than speed. If you're cutting sheet metal by hand, a good pair of work gloves is essential. The freshly cut edges are extremely sharp. Snipping away. By this point, the cutting process had become faster and more efficient. The first panel is nearly finished and ready for installation. One of the things I enjoy most about working around the cabin is spending time with my pet squirrels and chipmunks. They're always nearby whenever I'm outside, so I usually have a pocket full of peanuts with me. There you go. Got it? Good boy. Bye-bye, Chippy. To make installation easier, I built this temporary support to hold each metal panel in position while it was being aligned and fastened. Another view of the temporary support. Although it served its purpose, it was somewhat cumbersome to use. Fortunately, my wife Janet was there to help hold each panel while I aligned and secured it. I don't have a photo showing the actual installation, but the process was straightforward. The edge of each new panel is first slid between a wood runner and a previously installed panel. The opposite edge is then aligned so it overlap locks over the adjacent rib of the previous panel. Once fully engaged, the two panels interlock to form a straight, secure, and watertight joint. Because the roof panels are browned, I used number 8 by 1/2 inch brown stainless steel hex head sheet metal screws with bonded sealing washers. The color-matched screw heads blended nicely with the panels, while the stainless steel provides excellent corrosion resistance for many years of outdoor exposure. When installing the screws, always place them in the center of the flat portion of each panel. This provides the strongest attachment, allows water sealing washers to compress evenly against the metal, and helps prevent leaks, panel distortion, and a rippled appearance commonly known as oil canning. This diagram illustrates the 4 most common causes of leaks around metal roofing screws. For a proper seal, each screw should be driven perfectly perpendicular to the panel. The sealing washers should be compressed just enough to form a watertight seal. Overdriving a screw can damage the washer, while underdriving it may leave gaps that allow water to penetrate. Taking a little extra time during installation will help ensure a long-lasting, leak-free roof. To keep the screws perfectly aligned, the stretched mason string served as a visual guide, ensuring every row of screws remains straight and evenly spaced. Besides looking more professional, proper alignment also helps distribute the holding force uniformly across the panels. Almost finished. By this point, the system was really beginning to come together. Just one more panel to install. The final step is now in place. After many hours of planning, measuring, cutting, and fastening, the underdeck roof was finally complete. Here is a completed underdeck drainage system with all the metal panels and the gutter fully installed. The finished project creates a clean, attractive ceiling beneath the deck while directing rainwater to the gutter system. As luck would have it, Just minutes after completing the installation, it began to rain, the perfect opportunity to test the system. It was gratifying to watch the water flow smoothly down the panels and fall almost perfectly into the center of the gutter, just as planned. Another view of the completed system during the rainstorm. Seeing the design perform exactly as intended made all the planning and hard work worthwhile. I've intentionally left the gutter outlet open for now because the next phase of this project will be building an enclosed, screened-in back porch beneath the deck. Once that is complete, I'll determine the best way to route the drainage away from the porch and toward the lake. To eliminate the small leaks I discovered during the initial rain test, I applied Sikaflex 1A polyurethane sealant along the J-channels. This sealant is waterproof, remains flexible after curing, bonds exceptionally well to both metal and wood, withstands the severe freeze-thaw cycles commonly in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and can be painted once fully cured. Here's a closer view showing how the Sikaflex sealant was applied inside the J-channels to create a durable, watertight seal. Here are the finished views of the completed underdeck metal roof and gutter system. I'm very pleased with how this project turned out. It was a learning experience, and I picked up several techniques along the way for future projects. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed following the construction process and found some of the techniques helpful for your own projects. If you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll be sharing many more woodworking and home improvement projects in the future. The very next project will be building the enclosed screened-in back porch beneath this deck, so I hope you'll join me for that one as well.